Hello again and welcome back to part 3 of the barbarian skills. I will actually dive right into this. Oh yeah, we are looking at Furious Charge. A skill that I kinda like if you use it in the beginning of a fight. Probably not use it, because there are so much other more awesome skills. But when you charge you get Fury, you deal damage. Let's see what you can do with it. This one is really... I cannot see why I would use this. Because you charge in, but you will not charge around in the fight, I would assume. So you do not really need to reduce the cooldown at all. Battering ram, that is greater, you deal more damage. And yeah, of course, when you charge in, you charge at an enemy. That particular enemy will take 60% weapon damage. Everything you hit along the way will take 30%. Stamina. This, usually I do not like the fury generating runes, but this one I dig. If you hit a lot of targets, let's say you hit 10 targets, you get 80 fury in the beginning of a fight. And probably plus 15, so 95 fury in just one big charge. Loving that one. This one, well, do not need it. I would not charge into a lot of enemies if I'm not at full health. So no need for that one. Finally, you stun things. Probably useful, but not as fun. So of course, stamina here. For once, digging this one big time. Let's see. Moving on to overpower. You attack, and when it becomes available once you hit critical hits against any enemy, probably with any skill as well. So then you can use this one and deal damage within 9 yards to everything there. And let's see what you can do with it. Reflect damage. So when you use it, you will reflect enemy damage. Maybe good, but not that fun. This one I like. Your chance to critical hit is increased by 22% for 6 seconds. So, well, you use this one once you get a critical, then you will probably get a critical before 6 seconds runs out, and you can use it again to be able to keep that up and use it quite often. You know, it boosts your damage, and you can use this great ability more often. This one, when you use it, everything you hit gives you 7 fury. Kinda okay. Storms of Steel, you throw axes at 9 targets. And I might like this one. If it is like this, you throw 9 axes, and if it's just one target, all 9 axes will hit that target. Then I really dig this one. You know, especially on boss fights, you will get a lot of focused fire. And finally, you get some life, so this might be really good as well in tough situations, especially on hardcore. Moving on to Seismic Slam. It is a spender. You deal damage and knock things around. And it causes a wave, assume in front of you, maybe around you, I'm not sure. 45 yard arc, so it's an arc probably in front of you then, I assume. Kinda nice. Let's see, Crackling Rift. Cracking Rift even. Narrow it down, but deals more damage. Increases damage, increases the knockback. So yeah, kinda good. But once again, I do not really like the knockback. Cannot get away from that. But it's everywhere, so probably I should just embrace it instead. This one I really dig for, you know, reducing it. It is already a good skill, you deal lots of damage, and this one actually almost double the... It doesn't directly double the damage, but indirectly. Because you can use it almost twice as much. Which, you know, you can spam it for a while instead of just maybe 1 or 2 times. Rumble. It will shudder some more after the ground shudder, that is, and we did some additional damage. And Stagger, you stun enemies. So now we'll go with the Strength Earth here if I have to use this one, I think. Yep, moving on to Earthquake, one of my favorite skill if you use the right rune for it. Long cooldown, you cannot use it that often, but you are shaking the ground and you will deal damage. Initial 240 damage, and then following up with 150 per second in that particular area. But you can actually adjust this quite heavily in different ways. This one Your secondary tremors can be projected. That is nice, you can choose where to land them. Aftershocks. You knock things back and deal more damage. Giant stride. Secondary tremors follow your movement. Ah, damn it, I did this wrong. So, I was actually going to skip this one, because I like it. So I will do that. The Mountain's Call! Reduces the cost and the cooldown. Do not really like that one. I prefer to have one massive, stupidly strong, great liking ability, instead of having a good ability a bit more often. This is not like... It's not that awesome. Skipping Giant Stride. Good work there. You will actually slow things with the skill, and finally this one I love. The secondary tremors will follow you, so if you use it on the first group, they die. Then you just run into the next group and you still have these secondary tremors dealing damage. Oh yeah. Moving on to Ancient Spear. You throw a spear and you deal damage, pull them back to you, and they will be slowed. Like the skill, maybe not something I would choose to have, but nevertheless it generates fury, so that's nice. So let's see. Rage Flip. They would be knocked back instead and take more damage. Skipping that one. This one I like. If they are in a line, you pull up to 8 enemies back to you. Digging that one. Skirmish. Increase fury gain to 38. Once again, the same as with what's it called? Charge. If you get more fury while it's charging in, you might find it very useful. Same here, more fury in the initial, because I cannot see myself using this in midst of fighting. I would use it in the beginning of a fight if I use it. This one, throwing 8 spears, I guess just throwing them out at 8 enemies and pull them back. It's kinda similar to this one. Finally, you gain a lot of life. Well, if you want to use this in the middle of a fight, you might want to use this one, especially on hardcore. You panic, push the button, and get a lot of life back. I'm not sure how much, because, well, you know, I don't really know the numbers, but you get life back. Sprint is a skill I do not really dig at all. You run fast for 6 seconds, and you spend 20 fury on it, instead of dealing damage, so... Cannot see the point of that one at all. I wouldn't pick it. But let's see what it does anyways. Gangway. While running around, you will slam into enemies and deal damage and knock them back. This might be a good way to use it if you have to use it. You're surrounded, cannot get away. You use sprint, you can knock things back, you deal damage to them, knocking them back so you can actually get out of there. That is a good use. Marathon, you run faster and longer. Forced March. You actually give this to your allies as well. There we go. This one is decent. You get dodge. No, they're great skills to get for survivability. And run like the wind. When you run, you will create small whirlwinds that deals damage. So either this one or Gangway. Probably Gangway if I would use this one. Well, moving on to Call of the Ancients. This is one of 2 favorite skills so far on the barbarian tree. Well, it's not really a tree anymore, but, well, the skills of choice, if you put it that way instead. Call of the Ancients. You summon the Ancient Barbarians, Talik, Korlik, and Madwak. Have you died to those guys? I hate them. They are so hard on Diablo 2 right now, especially on hardcore. Well, you know, you die and then you start over. When you die in hardcore in hell, you are not that happy. Well, you summon them, they come and they will fight for you. 100% weapon damage for 15 seconds. Ding this one, and they, let's see, Talik wields Sword and Shield and Whirlwinds. Korlik is using a massive pole arm and uses Cleave. Madbuck dual wields axes and uses weapon throw skill. So I'm digging this one a lot, and of course you can alter it in 5 different ways. First one, Talik gains a new ability, leap attack, and deals a lot of damage with that one. Caulix Might. He gains Furious Charge and deals a lot of damage to everything in a line. This one is the favorite, I think. Well, my favorite. Increases duration by, not by, but to 85 seconds. In a boss fight, I can, well, maybe if they die really easily, this might not be as good, because, well, you use it and they did just die, but otherwise, I'm digging this one. And this one as well, Council rises if they kind of tend to die before 15 seconds is passed. This one is great. Deal more damage while they're alive. They have more armor, so they will not die. Finally, we have Madbuck's Madness. Madbuck gains Seismic Slam and deals a lot of damage with that one. Moving on to the second skill of my favorites, Whirlwind. You know this from Diablo 2, you know how it works. You click on the ground, things die, you smile. And as you can see, you deal damage every 0.4 seconds. And it costs 8 fury per second. The question here I have is actually how it works, you know, with dual wielding versus one big polearm massive weapon. Is it based on just one weapon, or do you get both weapons into this? Because if you get both weapons, I am digging this one even more. And what can you do with it? Well, you get life steal when you crit. Critical strikes give 7% of your maximum life. Yes, please, this is good. Because this, you are in the middle of a clump of enemies, they are striking you, you're getting some crits, you get life back. Really good for survivability. Volcanic Eruption, you deal more damage. 84 instead of 44 is almost a double. That is good as well. Eye of the Storm reduces the cost of Whirlwind, so you can do it for twice as long, almost at least. Dust Devils, you will spawn small tornadoes that deals damage. And finally, Hurricane. This one is good as well. You will move around faster while spinning around. So I actually like all these. Maybe not this one as much. The other ones I really dig, all of them. Finally, we got Wrath of the Berserker, which is the final skill, well, active skill that is, of the Barbarian. You can use it every 2 minutes. You scream, you cry, you rage, you call it whatever you want. You are getting a beast. Critical hit 10%, attack speed plus 45%, dodge attack plus 20%, and move speed plus 20%. A lot of bonuses, and that is of course not all. You can boost this even further. Slaughter. If you kill something while this is active, you will, well, they will explode and deal a lot of damage in a great range. Insanity. You also get more damage. 75% more damage, plus all these. Yeah, that's nice. This one is great as well. For every 9 fury you gain, you get 1 more second with the Wrath of the Berserker. So it's probably a good time to use your fury generators. Ariat's Veil, not Veil, but Whale. Activating. Everything around you is knocked back and takes a lot of damage. That is a lot, 550%. I think that is the highest number I've seen actually. And Mountainous Form, you will get 60% instead of 20% dodge, so you will survive a lot more. So this is the end of part 3. Feel free to check in part 4, where I will be investigating the passive skills as well. See you soon, and goodbye for the moment.